What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic CM. It's episode number 99. Yes, one away from 100, and we're starting today's stuff with the league table. As you can see, 4 games remaining in La Liga, 10 points clear of Atletico. We know just one win will give us La Liga title to go alongside the Copa del Rey in a domestic double in our first season as Barcelona manager. Also, Sympathy's golden boot is basically wrapped up. It has been for a while now as well, so delighted with that too. Also, on the back of the loss to Hertha Berlin in the last game and last episode, out in the Champions League semi-finals, won't be winning the treble this season, but even with 4 games to go, even if the title is basically done, I've talked about this before, like when you are so far clear in your pursuit of a league title, you then start thinking about other things you can do alongside winning it as well. And as we know, with 4 games to go, if we win the remaining 4, we win all of our 4 remaining games, we will get to 100 points, which is the joint record for most points in La Liga season. Real Madrid have done it once. Barcelona have done it once, so now you have a chance to join those 2 teams there with 100 points in a single La Liga season. Need to win all 4 of our games though, and also as well, we're still going for the 100 goals as well. So to do that, we won't just need to win our games, we'll need to win by multiple goals to get to that record as well. So first game was Sporting Gijon away, and this was the game where the title could be won, and it was as well. Fati got goal number 30 for the season, and then Keane got one in the second half. So I thought it was kind of fitting as well. The top 2 scorers in La Liga scoring the only 2 goals of the game, and again it clinched the title as well. And it's really weird because I talked about it before, like it's kind of been an anticlimactic first season with Barcelona. We didn't really face that much resistance and not that much in the Copa del Rey final to win our first trophy, and then La Liga as well. I talked about it because, you know, one of the reasons why I decided to move from Arsenal to Barca was the challenge of trying to topple Real Madrid's domestic dominance. Last season Barcelona were trophyless, Real Madrid won a lot domestically, so I was really looking forward to that, you know, the clashes with Real Madrid, the El Clasico, trying to bring it back, but it didn't really work out that way. Real Madrid obviously beat us in the Supercopa, don't forget that, and on their way to winning it. That's fair enough, but obviously La Liga and the Copa del Rey, those are the main 2, and they didn't really put up much of a fight in La Liga, and of course we beat them in the Copa del Rey semi-finals on our way to winning it as well. So yeah, slightly anticlimactic, but even so, still nice to know it's finally done. Although again, it has basically been known for a while we were going to be champions in our first season with La Liga. And real briefly, as we head into the second game of today's episode here against Real Valladolid, the first team to beat us in La Liga this season, and for a long time we're the only team to beat us before Atletico Bilbao, of course, beat us away from home. I'm sorry, Atletico Madrid beat us away from home at the Metropolitano. I thought this was a really fitting game for like the game where like you'd see the trophy celebrations at full time. You know, the first game of the season starting off with defeat, and then this would be the game in the reverse fixture we lift the trophy for the home fans. I thought that was really fitting indeed there as well. Real briefly, I do want to discuss transfer deadline day. Something I want to talk about today real briefly is what's been going on with Arsenal, and in particular Ainsley Maitland-Niles as well. Now obviously everyone knows with the Gunners starting the season off very, very poorly indeed. No goals in their first 3 games. And as we know, 2 very tough fixtures to start off with, but also Brentford on the opening day, a newly promoted side as well. 3 straight losses, no points from a possible 9. You know, awful start for the Gunners this season. And I don't want to lay into Arsenal because I know too many people have been doing that. And you know, it's at the moment easy pickings, low hanging fruit. But it's something I do want to discuss real briefly. Obviously, everyone's getting on Arteta's back, and you know, I think based on the side they've had this season, the way last season went as well, it is kind of understandable he'd be under so much criticism and under so much pressure as well, and justifiably so. You know, I wasn't necessarily in the Arteta out camp. I don't really have a stake in this, obviously not being an Arsenal fan, but I wasn't necessarily believing that Arteta should go. You know, again, a very tough start to the season, but I think the one thing that's really surprised me this morning was when I came back from my driving lesson, reading about what's happened with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Now, as we know, yesterday he posted that message on Instagram, you know, saying he just wants to play football. So frustrating, you know, you're 24 years old, athletically, you probably feel as though you're in your prime right now, and you just can't get a game, especially at his boyhood club that he joined, I believe when he was 6 years old. I think that's right. I think I read that this morning. He joined when he was 6 years old. So anyway, through the academy regardless, and he literally just can't get a game there. And as we know, there was supposed to be a move this morning. He was looking as though he was on his way out of Arsenal and securing a permanent move away from the club. And then Arsenal blocked the move. And I have to say, obviously there are many reasons why a transfer might fall through. We've seen loads of times where a transfer seems certain to happen and certain to about to go through, and at the last minute a club will block a move. I think the most famous one I can remember in recent years was Gareth Bale's imminent departure from Real Madrid off to the Chinese Super League, and at the very last minute Real Madrid said no because they weren't going to get a transfer fee. They were going to lose Bale on a free transfer, and they had a change of heart and felt they could get something for him in the market. My understanding is the reason why Maitland-Niles' move fell through was kind of similar. The Gunners didn't think the bid in the end actually reflected what they believed their true market valuation was for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. However, what happened afterwards I thought was really disappointing. Not only did they block the move, but they then informed him that he won't be training with the first team anymore. And I assume the main reason why, of course, is because naturally you could say it was unprofessional for the message he posted on social media last night. But you've got to understand, this kid's 24 years old, man. I mean, that is no age whatsoever. And I understand you've got to be professional, but the dude just wants to play football. He's desperate to play. He just can't get a game. And the frustration clearly boiled over. I think it was just a bit of a really bad case of man management. Whether the decision came from Arteta or higher up, I'm not entirely sure. But the Gunners are coming under so much scrutiny right now, and it's not necessarily the players that are taking the blame, but it's more the running of the club from Arteta and then up in the hierarchy with their recruitment team and just in general the way the club is currently being run. And I think this decision here, if this did come from Arteta, this might well be the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm not entirely sure, but it would be very hard if it was Arteta that made this decision to sacrifice Maitland-Niles from first team after blocking the move. It'll be very hard for him to win back the trust of his players. I'm sure it's a really, really low level right now after the poor start they've had this season again, after how last season went as well. Really poor man management, and you kind of feel sorry for Maitland-Niles at this point. And to be honest, by the time this video's come out, the situation's probably been resolved. Maybe he has gone somewhere else. Maybe Arsenal have done a U-turn and say he will train with the first team and he might get some game time this season. But just from my perspective this morning, as I'm recording this commentary, it's just been a disappointing thing to read for a young player who just wants to play. And simply put, it's just getting worse at the moment. And hopefully there is a situation that gets resolved where Maitland-Niles can play, can train with the first team, be it with Arsenal or elsewhere. I guess we'll wait and see. And again, by the time this video's come out, that's probably happened. But yeah, even so, just frustrating right now because again, the Gunners are coming under a lot of pressure and scrutiny and criticism recently. And again, based on the start of the season, it is understandable. But it's just tougher, isn't it? Really, it's a really difficult situation. Do you know, honestly, I feel so sorry for Maitland-Niles. I've got to be honest, I really feel sorry in general for Arsenal fans because at the moment it's just tough. Yeah, it's just tough. It just gets worse and worse to start the season off, and hopefully after a very difficult start both on and off the pitch this season, the Gunners can pick it up after what has been a very tough beginning to the campaign for them this year. Anyway, after we won the penultimate game of the season, our final game of the campaign was Real Sociedad at home, and we needed to win this game in order to win La Liga title with that joint record 100 points. And I got to be honest, man, we fell behind very early on. Frustrating goal to concede from a set piece. Got back on level terms. In the second half, I just pushed and pressed and literally did everything I could to try and find a winning goal and get that joint record 100 points total met. But I just couldn't find it. What I quite liked as well is that at full time, like even though we've won the title, we won it a long time ago, the domestic double as well, the reactions kind of told the story. I kind of choked it on the final day, and I'm the first to raise my hand and admit that, man. I really wanted to get to 100 points so badly for the first time, I believe, in FIFA 21, and I totally bottled it on the final day. In the grand scheme of things, listen, it's still been a good season, right? Domestic double and the Champions League semi-final place as well, finishing a whopping 21 points clear of our El Clasico rivals Real Madrid, but we still fell 2 goals short of the 100 goal mark. We still fell 2 points short of the 100 points mark. So it's just a bit of a sour note to end on after what was an amazing season, as Huesca, Malaga and Sporting Gijon were the 3 teams that got relegated. Like, so it's an amazing first season with Barcelona, with all we've done to rebuild the side, and develop that Spanish core. It looks really, really cool. The way this team is set up, it's just really, really cool team now. But it's still kind of annoying. I've choked quite a few things in this series so far, and that one hurts, honestly, man, just as much as the Champions League semi-final this year against Hertha Berlin, because I really wanted that. I haven't got to 100 points in this year's FIFA. This was an amazing chance to do it, and I bottled it on the final day. So frustrating, but hey, chip on the shoulder, something to work towards next season. Anyway, Fati did win the Golden Boot, as you saw there. The top 4 assist makers are all Barcelona players as well, and Ter Stegen won the Golden Glove, but somehow didn't get in the team of the tournament. De Jong, Fati, Dembele and Keane were the 4 representatives in the team of the tournament. But I've mentioned this before, this is something quite weird that happens regularly in this year's CM. Like, the Golden Glove winner will win the goalkeeper of the tournament 9 times out of 10, but they oftentimes don't get in the team of the tournament. I don't really understand why that is, as well as Fati won the player of the tournament, by the way, but that's really weird. Does it happen in your career modes as well? Because I find it often in mine. The goalkeeper that had the most clean sheets will win the Golden Glove. Obviously that's how it works. They'll win the goalkeeper of the tournament, but not in the team of the season, which I just find really baffling. But Bayer Leverkusen won the Europa League. Bittersweet seeing this though, Arsenal winning the Champions League, beating Hertha Berlin, who knocked us out in the semis by 1-0. So go on the Gunners, but even so, kind of bittersweet knowing I choked it with them last season against Dortmund, and then this season they do it without my help. Didn't retain the Premier League though, 3rd place in the Premier League. Thought you guys might be interested to see that, but yeah, the Gunners were indeed Champions League winners, beating our knockout opponents Hertha Berlin in the final by 1-0. And one final run through the squad as well, as we end our 7th season of the save. I got to be honest, I stopped on Bilbao Arteta there. Did you see that? 8 assists in 15 games, and he got a goal as well. I'm telling you, man, like seriously, I really wish in this save I could have had more youth players having meaningful impacts on my teams. But I like this guy a lot, man. Seriously, I'm not sure where it's the head I like the most, but I like this guy a lot, man. Seriously, he's a really decent player to develop. Only grew 4 ratings this season, but still, best player of the season, no doubt about it though. Fati, 33 goals in 35 La Liga games, 91 overall, now growing 2 ratings. And you look at the stats of Fati this season as well, absolutely unbelievable, man. The way this guy has developed, only growing 2 ratings, but again, the range of attributes the guy has got, he's just so perfect as an inside forward in this team. And again, part of that front 3 alongside Dembele, and this guy Moise Kean as well, 24 goals in La Liga and 28 overall, sorry. The best front 3 in world football right now. An 89 rated Keane leading the line, and then 2 91 rated inside forwards as well. Absolute class. I love how this team shaped up after just 1 season with Barcelona. So yeah, domestic double, amazing Spanish core assembled, incredible attack, no doubt about it. But despite the domestic double, we didn't win the treble, we didn't get to 100 points or 100 goals. So there's still more things to do as we head into our 2nd season at the new camp. But that was this episode of the Really CM, guys. Big fan. Fortunate if you have enjoyed. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode. Can you believe it's episode 100? I've got a special one coming out for you tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great day. Much love, and I'll see you for a brand new season with episode 100 very soon.